we are love at our best in the weak consciousness.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Noe, and I'm the author of We Consciousness. Thanks for joining us here today. Today I have with me Tim Noe. Hi, Tim.
Hello, my mother, Karen. I'm going to start this by saying I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Tim's the author of Take Out the X, A Guide to External Peace. He was raised with a small psychic medium mother, me, and adopted many spiritual teachings early in life. One such teaching is that life continues beyond the body. Now Tim shares the truth contained within the text, A Course in Miracles. He works for Humanities Team, leads their A Course in Miracles Facebook page, and also leads their weekly A Course in Miracles discussion group. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us.
Before we begin, for those listeners who don't know, how did A Course in Miracles come about?
A Course in Miracles, it was scribed by a woman named Helen Schuckman, and she was a self-proclaimed atheist, militant atheist, but she had a Christian background, so she had a background in Christianity. And she worked as an academic psychologist at Columbia University, and it was a very competitive work environment. There's a bitterness and resentment, and nobody was really content in the workplace. And one day, her colleague, the head of the department, William Thetford, he's usually a soft-spoken gentleman. One day, he essentially launched a tirade, or at least as much of a tirade as he could, and essentially said, there must be a better way. Whatever we're doing is not working. Nobody's happy. There must be a better way. And Helen, as if on cue, agreed to help him find that better way. So what ensued was they just got together and I guess just gave a little willingness to pursue truth. So what followed from there, they gave that little willingness that A Course in Miracles refers to, just the ability to say, there must be a better way. You know, maybe my way of seeing this world is not completely correct. After that, Helen started to have very symbolic dreams, and William encouraged her to start writing down these dreams. So she would write down these very symbolic dreams and then read them to him the next day. So she got in the habit of writing down some content. And as she was writing down something one day, she wrote down, this is a Course in Miracles. Please take notes. And in her words, that was her introduction to the voice, this voice which comes through in the text of A Course in Miracles. So she was, you know, I don't want to say freaking out, but she didn't know what was going on. So she'd read it to William, Bill, and they didn't know what to expect. She's channeling the voice of Christ, this atheist. But the things that were coming through were just irrefutable, and the wisdom and the truth that were in these writings couldn't be sided against. So she continued to write. She felt like she had an assignment, a divine assignment, to write this text, and William Thetford helped her to type up the notes. So essentially, I think it took 7 years to write. She would take dictation. She calls it a process of dictation. She would sit down at night with her notebook and just take notes from a voice that was within her, guiding her hand. And from there, she would read it to Bill. He would type up the notes, and they would really learn from each other in this process. So from there, some really incredible things were written.
Okay, very nice. Now, because we're speaking for Humanities Team, what is A Course in Miracles' approach to oneness?
So to address this, I would like to read some segments from the text. This is chapter 8 of the original unedited text. It's called the text.
Mhm.
So this, and I'm paraphrasing, this is essentially just lines selected from an entire chapter. Knowledge is not the motivation for learning this course. Peace is. Those whom you perceive as opponents are part of your peace, which you are giving up by attacking them. When you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat him, you will treat yourself. As you think of him, you will think of yourself. Whenever you are with anyone else, you have another opportunity to find them. Your power and glory are in him because they are yours. The ego tries to find them in yourself because it does not know where to look. But the Holy Spirit teaches you that if you look only at yourself, you cannot find yourself because that is not what you are. Whenever you're with a brother, you are learning what you are because you are teaching what you are. The kingdom cannot be found alone. Glory is God's gift to you because that is what he sees. See this glory everywhere to learn what you are. Alone, we can do nothing, but together, our wills fuse into something whose power is far beyond the power of its separate parts. As we unite with God. Ours is a shared identification. The name of God's Son is one, and you are enjoined to do the works of love because we share this oneness. So that is just a segment of text addressing oneness in A Course in Miracles, but really oneness is all over the text, the message that how interconnected we are.
So it pretty much says exactly what about what the we consciousness says is we are all one. Whatever we do to ourselves or another, it affects the whole. And that means we're one with God, one with each other, one with all animals, non-human animals, as well as all with the environment. So it's the same message. Now, how does this message, how does it bring peace on earth? I know the answer to this, but I want to see what you say about this.
Well, if you know the answer, tell us. And I can give you the perspective of A Course in Miracles.
Say that again?
Well, you say you know it, so tell us, and then I can maybe extend
Oh,
it.
because if we realize that we are all one, it's pretty much what I said. Whatever we do to ourselves or another, it affects everyone. It just doesn't affect us. Just doesn't affect the other person, right? So that pretty much says it all.
Yes. Now, agreed, completely.
Okay.
Now to fully, now the approach of A Course in Miracles to understand what you said. It's just a statement such as "we are all one."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is entirely true. To fully understand what that's saying may take a bit of unlearning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what A Course in Miracles is designed to do, because we need to understand in the thing, we are all one. We need to know what we is. What is we? Who is the we that we're talking about? So A Course in Miracles makes a very clear distinction between ego and Holy Spirit, or ego and our self, our true capital S self. Our ego self is rooted in physical, in this finite form, this finite existence where we're bound. There's a start and a finish. There's a limit. There's a scale. There's a size. We're really who we are. Our identity is eternal, perfect, changeless.
Could I add something to that? As a psychic medium, I often hear that, you know, those who have passed, they're able to see this oneness and feel it in an instant because their bodies are not separating them from each other. As soon as they leave the physical body and they come back to talk about it, or someone who has had a near-death experience and they come back into their body after, you know, they don't physically die, they do physically die, and then they come back into their physical body to talk about what they saw and what they felt. They feel that connectivity in an instant, because their bodies aren't separating them from everyone and everything. So we want to live here on earth and understand this. You know, we can understand it conceptually, but if we could understand it experientially, that's how we could create peace on earth. Do you agree?
So I would love to find the quote, but I can say essentially what it says is that when our ego, oh, maybe I know where it is. Let's see. When your body, I know exactly what it says. Paraphrase. When your body and your dreams and your history are gone, you will know that you are eternal.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We may think that this is accomplished through death, but nothing is accomplished through death, because
there is no death.
Everything is accomplished through life.
That's it.
So we don't
There's no such thing as death. The physical body dies, the shell, but the essence of who we are continues. But the body, to attribute, to say I died, that's nothing. That's choosing to not choose anything. Everything is accomplished through life, which is eternal, outside of time. So it's not necessary to wait for this body to stop working to realize that. Right, we just have to choose. We make the choice to not identify with the body. Right. That's what we're forced into doing when the body stops working. But we can do that here now within the framework of the body. And we can make a difference in our lives and in the world as well. How's that? Does that make sense? We are, regardless if we think we can or not. Yes, absolutely. And to extend that conversation, the only way that we can make a change in the world around us is by changing our perception of the world around us, by choosing to be at peace here now. When we choose to be at peace, that doesn't come with stipulation. You know, there's this notion of unconditional love, where like a mother for a son, or a mother and a child, or reverse. There's an unconditional love. Really, this unconditional love is between all of us, all our brothers and sisters. Our true self, we share this unconditional love, the love of God for us. Unconditional, meaning we don't have to do anything. We don't have to say anything. We don't have to be anywhere. We're loved because we are. Exactly. Unconditional peace is to be at peace regardless of what's going on without. People can be running around, there's a fire, things knocking down, and we choose to be at peace unconditionally. Mm-hmm. True peace is unconditional as well as love. Nothing, when we make a statement that say we're pushing for world peace, or our goal is for world peace, that's implying that peace is not here now. My goal is to get world peace. I can choose peace within now. That's what we're given. We're given the choice for
to choose a peace within ourselves. And from that inner peace, our perception outward will see the peace around us, because peace is everywhere that we look. Peace is everywhere that we look.
Beautifully said. Now, because I could talk to you all day about this, and maybe we should do this again another time. But for now, Tim, how can our listeners find you, and how can they join the Course in Miracles discussion group to get more into depth about this?
Go to humanitiesteam.org, certainly. Or perhaps leave your email as a comment in this section, and I can reach out to you directly.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Now, if I may, I'd like to repeat a quote that you read to us just a few minutes ago, because it's one of my favorite ones from A Course in Miracles. And here it is. When you meet anyone, remember, it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself, for in him, you will find yourself or lose yourself. Thank you, Tim, and thanks to all of you who have joined us here, and have an amazing, peaceful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I love you, and God bless.
I love you too.
Let's choose love, inner peace, living one in harmony with the knowledge. At our core, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We can do it with our truth and bring new light into all we do. We are love at our best in the weak consciousness. We love at our best in the weak consciousness. Entering to the weak consciousness.
We are all one. Whatever we do to ourselves or another affects the whole. May the divine within you guide you as to what steps to take to be of service to our beautiful planet. May peace prevail on earth.